Okay, so to start with on this one, again, it's figure 656, there on page 221. I'd start by looking at the drawing in the book. And when you look at the drawing in the book, on the left side there of the drawing, if you look on the left side of this drawing, that view you'd be looking at there, that's what the front view is. It's that little kind of B-shaped piece. It's kind of a laying down B. It's kind of an L here, and then it's curved up, and it's kind of shaped in here on the screen. Something kind of like what I'm tracing through there. That is the front view of this. So on an isometric, the side there on the left is the front view. On the right is representing the right side view, which obviously we put over here. And looking down from the top of it on that isometric is the top view. So the way this is going to look here is we're going to start this drawing. I'm just going to start it on the object layer, so I'm going to switch to my object layer. And I start by drawing a line over here in the bottom left corner and drawing it straight to the side, the length of this front view, which is 7 inches. So I'm going to draw that over 7 to there. And as you see, that's a pretty long line. We're going to have some issues fitting this entire thing on our title block, but we'll worry about that later. The height of it there, what's the height of that front view here in this side of it over here? Yeah, 1.12. So it's over there on that right side of the drawing in the book, so 1.12, tall there. And then coming back over, at this point we're really not sure how long this line is. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm just going to draw it over there away. Something like that. We'll trim that off to the precise length here in a bit, but for right now I just draw it over there, something kind of like that. From there, I now jump back a little bit. I'd come over to this position. I draw a line up. How far up does that straight line go by looking there at the book? 3 inches. So we'd go up 3. And now once again from here, what I would do next is this. It shows you right there the radius of this arced portion is 1.62. Well, to draw that in, I have to draw it in by a circle. To draw the circle, I have to start the circle by the center point. So from this corner, that measurement lines right up with the center of the circle. I just have to go over that radius, which is the 1.62. So I'm going to come over 1.62. And right there at the end of that line is where I'm going to start the circles for this rounded part and for the holes and all that are there. So I'm going to start a circle there. That, once again, is that 1.62 inch radius. And that gives me a nice little circle in there. Okay? Now with this, on some of the drawings I've seen here recently, this would be maybe something I would see. With a line going in there like that, and this drawing trimmed up like that. Yeah, not so much perfect. What's the problem with this? Yeah, it's not tangent. I mean, these lines don't look anything like what the book does. It comes down there nice and tangent. So this is not correct. To get this correct, we would have to connect a line. Where would we connect it on this circle? Yeah, that quadrant right there. So I'm going to draw it to that quadrant. Then make sure I draw it straight down to right there. And then we can trim this thing up, and that'll be beautiful. We can leave that line in there because we'll get our next circles off of that here in just a moment. But that looks really good there. And that lines up just perfectly. Can't tell you how many I've graded here recently to where these things, they just don't line up. And I can see that when you upload it. And when those don't line up, your grade's counted down on that. So that's not a good thing. All right. So next I have these two circles that are out here. The circles are represented by that note there in the book. I wish it would show you that note exactly the same every time, but it doesn't. It's written differently, which I guess is a good thing to get you used to because sometimes on different drawings you'll see it written differently. So looking at that note, what does all that mean? What's the diameter 1.5 mean? The size of which circle? Yeah, that's the size of that smaller circle that goes all the way through the object. So we'd go circle, connect it right there, hit D for diameter, and make that a 1.5 diameter. So that's that small circle that goes all the way through. Then next, that next little note tells you 2 counterbore or C-bore. That's what that larger hole is there. And it is 0.5 deep. So for right now, we're not worried about that 0.5 deep, but for right now, we want to put in that circle there that has a diameter of 2. And that's got that finished up. I'm going to go ahead and erase out that layout line there, and that's got that, the object lines of this front view finished up. From there, we obviously need to put in our right side view, our top view, and all of our hidden lines and center lines, all those things in there. But first, before we do that, how well is our right side view going to fit in this title block? Yeah, not well at all, actually. So when that happens, you don't want to ever do this. You don't ever want to take your drawing and, well, I'll make our drawing smaller. There, now it'll fit. Well, then you just change the length of this line. Instead of 7.7 inches, it's 5.1855. That's not what we want. So you don't want to do that, but instead you scale your title block. So we're going to go scale, which is SC for scale. You're going to select your title block, all of it. Make sure you don't miss that line over there. So big window around all that stuff and the line over there. Select your title block, hit enter. Base point, in this instance, I'd pick this bottom left corner because it scales it up and away from that bottom left corner where we started the drawing. And on this one, I always do it something to an increment. I never just pull it out here and go click, because then you don't know what you scaled it to. Here I'd scale it to 1.8741 times. You always want to do it to something. So for this, I'm going to go just 1.5. And scaling it 1.5 times as large as what it is currently works nicely there. Maybe you'd have to go 2 times or 3 or 5, whatever. But I always scale it to a nice little round number, some easy number to scale it to. With that, now you're ready to start in your other views. You all have the skills, I think, from our last couple drawings we've done to do this, but the way I'd get started with this is I'd switch to the layout layer, bring up a layout line off of each side of this front view, up. Then from there, I would come across with the layout line across the top of there, possibly trim this off as I go just to lessen the confusion. And then from this line, the height of the top view, remember that's the depth of the object. How deep is this object? How much? It's 3. Over there on the right side view, the depth of the entire object, it is 3. So up there, I just offset 3 below there, trim that out, and there I have that top view started and kind of blocked out there. From there, I just need to, decide where my left side view is going to go and put my 45-degree angle in there and all that good stuff. So there's kind of the way that would start. I'll let you go ahead and continue working through this. Now, I know this one's a little bit new and a little bit different, so what I did do on this one is I have this drawing here, kind of all previewed, the way that you do this. I have all my layout lines kind of on there so you can see kind of where the layout lines come from. You still have some measurements in the book, obviously, that you're going to have to pick out. The drawing views are centered up. After I finished this, I centered everything up nicely. I went ahead and went in here and filled in my title block, named this figure 656. Made this thing out of steel, put in today's date, and just finished up filling in the title block. So there's kind of that. So what I want you to continue to do today is finish this drawing here on your own. Should be able to work your way through that. After you're finished with that, then you can go back to our initial notes from the day, which is work on figure 876 on page 309. We'll definitely be continuing on with this 876 next time. So work on basically getting through with this one. If you got through with this one today, good. And then if you have some time to get started on this one, great. But we'll continue with this on next time. All right. From there, go ahead and continue on and make things happen.